Wow, the weather is crazy tonight, and this morning it's nuts. I woke up and the wind was just howling in my backyard. Mr. Cricket, our cat, was sitting in the window that looks into the backyard. We had it open, and thankfully there's an overhang there, so don't have to worry too much about rain or anything blowing into the window. But he was just entranced with the trees and the motion of the arborvitae's bushes that we have back there. I'm sure there's plenty of branches down in my yard, and it had rained at some point last night. Then it seemed to stop and dry up a little bit, but it looks like rain's coming down again.
Yeah, another round of rain and thunderstorms pushed through the area, all of western Wisconsin last night. Decent amount of rainfall in a very short amount of time, about a half an inch in some of the areas in the valley. Lingering showers are going to remain throughout the area this morning, and quite mild. I mean, we're talking about highs in the 50s and 60s. They're going to taper off around noon, and then it's going to remain kind of gloomy, I think, the rest of the day, and some kind of winds and making it sort of breezy. I told you I had to get out of my car and move some branches out of the roadway on my way into work this morning, so it definitely had some strong winds. And did you look ahead for the holiday weekend? A little bit below average, I would say, for the holiday weekend. We're talking about in the 60s. There might even be another potential frost concern on one of the nights this week. Boo.
I don't see that in my forecast. I've got almost 80 on Sunday, so I don't know where you're looking, but
throughout the region, western Wisconsin.
No trees in the road on the way to work for me. There were some leaves and trash and whatever else blowing around, but we'll see what the backyard looks like when I get home. I'm going to be working on the fire pit today. My guy Chuck's coming over. I'm going to start digging the hole.
First step. Step one.
Yep.
Dig a hole.
Dig that hole, Gene. Dig that hole.
Step one.
Step two, open up the fire thrower, the flamethrower. I'm excited to use that thing, man. We've got Grant Bilse joining us just after 8 a.m. We'll talk to him about Wisco Sports, Brewer Crew. Maybe he's got some updated information about Giannis and the Bucks, where they're at. There's been obviously a little bit of chatter about him going to a couple of different places. Talk about the Packers, right? Some off-season, off-season training camp stuff. Some people reporting to workouts, stuff like that. Bad news, happy music later on. Let you know what's new on New Release Tuesday. rockmornings.com if you want to get in touch with us. I actually got a text from Jason yesterday. This was after the program was over. And I told you after my wife and I got done with our parade on Sunday, we're in the Oktoberfest Grenadier Corps now. After the parade, we went to a house party where a lovely couple was serving food and drinks, and everyone was making merry. And there was a woman who wanted to get my picture because
she's
like, "Hey, you're the guy from the radio," and she said, "My son and my grandson told me that I got to take a picture with you." Well, that must have been Jason, the son, because he sent in a text. He said, "Brian, listen to you guys every morning. Wouldn't believe how surprised I was to receive a picture of you and my mom giving devil horns. Thanks for making her day. She's still talking about you. Here is the picture I received. Thanks," from Jason. There she is. It was so funny because when I this is just a default pose for me, the devil horns, right? And so she kind of looked at me, and then she did one of these, which is a Jimmy Superfly Snuka, and I said, "No, you got to tuck the thumb in." And she goes like this, and I said, "Hell yeah, like that." And she did the...
She's wearing your UFTA shirt.
Yeah, what part of UFTA don't you understand?
You got it like that.
They made, so they had homemade meatballs, mashed potatoes, and then they must have bought their sweet corn from the Traystad people, the yellow truck, and they must have cut it and froze it, and that was and then there was a gravy, and then they also did ramagrat.
So
it's
Norwegian...
like a rice pudding type thing, and it's in a crock pot. It was delightful, and you put a little brown sugar on it. There was a bunch of lefse with butter and sugar.
You were doing the whole...
it was a very traditional German-style meal.
Norwegian-style
meal. So it was delightful. It was delish. Can't complain. Thank you, Jason, for the text message. Appreciate that. Glad your mom had a good time. So did we. We'll get to some Blink-182 in a couple of minutes. And again, if you want to get in touch with us, visit rockmornings.com for more info.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on your rock station.
Couple of stories about tourists behaving badly. This happens all the time.
Is this with wildlife somewhere? Is this a
one of them
part?
is?
Yeah.
One of them
Okay.
is. One of them is Punch the Monkey, very famous monkey from the last couple of weeks and months.
Yeah.
That was shunned by its mother.
Had the stuffed animal, then had a girlfriend.
The stuffed animal also getting sort of kicked around by some of the other monkeys in the exhibit. Finally starting to make friends, ended up with a girlfriend, still an internet sensation. Well, now 2 Americans have been arrested in Japan after one of them tried getting a little too close to Punch the Monkey. A 24-year-old college student and a 27-year-old singer were both arrested on Sunday after the singer climbed into the monkey enclosure at the zoo there. The man who climbed into the enclosure was wearing a costume with an emoji face mask. The zoo confirming the intrusion on Twitter.
Dummies.
Enclosure, of course, is home to Punch the Monkey, the baby macaque that went viral earlier this year for carrying around a stuffed orangutan. The 2 Americans face charges of forcible obstruction of business. Didn't have formal identifications on them. Initially tried to lie about their names. Go figure. So they obviously did this with intent. My guess is they were trying to film some sort of stuff for social media because that's what all these pieces of crap do.
So did
Bunch of
they
scumbags
never
on the
got
internet.
with the monkey? They never got actually in
I don't think he got into the actual enclosure. I think
Good.
there's probably like a in-between, like a lot of these places. In a Twitter post made on Monday, the zoo said no abnormalities were observed in any of the animals following the intrusion. The zoo said in another post on Twitter that it was considering a ban on filming at the monkey enclosure to prevent any similar incidents occurring in the future.
I would.
But yeah. Obviously, they were there trying to film content for their stupid social media, and I hope they get caned.
Well, you don't belong in that section.
I don't know what the maximum penalty is, but I hope it happens to them.
You don't. Yeah.
Idiots.
Rules.
Another tourist behaving badly was in Rome.
I think I saw this. Did they take a
Yes,
header
they did.
into the Trevi Fountain?
Yes, the Trevi Fountain, the world famous Trevi Fountain, right there in the middle of the city. Somebody jumped in fully clothed and went for a little swim. Right there. Man described by British media as a 30-year-old visitor from New Zealand filmed jumping into the historic fountain while fully clothed as crowds nearby watched. I'm kind of shocked that they don't have some kind of security guy over there that immediately grabbed his ass right out of the fountain. You know what I mean? Like, there's millions of people that go by that thing every year, and you'd think that maybe they'd have somebody around there that...
When we were there was lots of security, but it's a large area and it's packed with people. So that have somebody exactly where that person was.
A TikTok video of the incident, which has been viewed more than 12 million times, showed the tourist walking backwards before running towards the fountain and diving into the water. The man continued moving around inside the fountain, even as police came by and ordered him to get out. Authorities reportedly fined him about $580, banned him from returning to the site. The Trevi Fountain, obviously one of Rome's most visited landmarks. Repeated instances of tourists entering the water despite very strict rules and increased security measures. Mm-hmm. Yeah, unless they put some kind of containment system around it to keep people away from it, it's going to be happening until the end of time. People are idiots. Oh, tourists behaving badly. Elsewhere, back stateside, Mark Furman, OJ trial. The glove don't
what
fit, you
about
must
him?
acquit.
Did he
If
die?
it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Yeah, he's dead. He died at 74. Former L.A. police detective who became infamous as one of the lead officials that were investigating OJ after the death of his wife, Nicole Brown, and her friend Ron Goldman, has now passed away. Mark Furman dead at the age of 74. His death was confirmed yesterday by the chief deputy coroner in Idaho. Said there will be no other information provided through the office. He was born in February of 1952. Was at the time an obscure homicide detective who became very, very famous instantly.
Super famous. And
After he found the bloody glove on Simpson's property the night of the slayings in 94. But the testimony of Mark Furman, who was white, called into question during the double murder trial of O.J. Simpson's defense when they raised the prospect of racial bias. Under cross-examination, Furman testified that he had never made any racial slurs, but his credibility took a hit when the defense produced recordings of him saying the N-word to describe certain suspects. So, yeah, we all remember that if you grew up in the 90s at all.
Yeah, and apparently kind of left that line of work, moved to Idaho and wrote some books and became a commentator and, investigated apparently one other murder as well. But, yeah, as far as, like, staying famous, he kind of fell off the radar a little bit.
Mark Furman dead at the age of 74, and a deadly shooting at a mosque yesterday. Alleged gunman in the shooting rampage that left 3 people dead outside of a San Diego mosque has been identified as a 17-year-old named Kane Clark and an 18-year-old named Caleb Velasquez. At least one of the suspects took a weapon from their parents' home and left a suicide note, talked about racial pride. Kane Clark attended Madison High School, a standout wrestler. According to the school's social media pages, his grandfather, David Clark, said, "We're very sorry for what happened. We know as much as you do. It's a shock." That's got to be the worst, man. You're chugging along as a family, and maybe through no fault of your own, you don't know what's going on in your grandkids' head or what's going on in their life. You know, you think everything's good. They come over, they put on a good face, and the next thing you know, you're reading the news and your grandkid has shot up a mosque. And now you've got to answer all the questions. And then people wondering, how could you not know? Clark and Velasquez found dead inside of a BMW from self-inflicted gunshot wounds only a few blocks away from the Islamic Center of San Diego. Anti-Islamic writings found in the vehicle, hate speech written on the firearms used in the shooting, a shotgun and a gas can with an SS sticker on it were located at the scene where the gunmen's bodies were discovered. Obviously, this could have been much deadlier if maybe the gas had been involved and a fire had ensued. But the SS sticker appears to represent, obviously, some Nazi propaganda. Police said that at about 9:40 in the morning, they got a call of a runaway juvenile from a concerned mother. After speaking with the mom, police began to elevate the threat level to the individual posed to the community. So it sounds like the mom may have found what was going on in the bedroom, and it was just a little bit too late, and the cops obviously weren't able to catch up with them until they did the damage at the mosque. It's Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene.
Some strong storms overnight. You might wake up to some branches down in your area, and certainly in my neighborhood there was. In my backyard even. I just cleaned up last night from the storms we got this weekend, and definitely some wind last night.
Be on the lookout when you're headed to work in case there's some branches down in the roads.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Got a text from Allison. Said cinnamon sugar and Ramagrat is way better than brown sugar. Just an FYI. They had a smattering of things. I honestly didn't know what the protocol was. I didn't even know what it was. I skipped it, and then everybody was ranting and raving about it at the table, and I said, all right, well, I'll try it. But I didn't know they had, like, several little dishes with spoons.
So it's kind of like a rice pudding almost? Here it is. A warm rice, comforting porridge.
This is nothing. Look.
Salt, sugar, vanilla, some warmth, served in bowls, topped with butter, cinnamon, or sugar.
It was fine, but it's not for me. I'm good.
Well, it sounds like it's a breakfast during Christmas time, so it's not.
People were saying it's like a porridge or an oatmeal, and I just.
It's what it looks like, yes.
I'm good. I had it once. I think I'm all right.
But you can also have it cold as a dessert. This was warm, though, right? Yes.
Yeah, it was in a crock pot.
It can also be served chilled, apparently.
Allison says, I have a family member that makes it every Christmas, mainly just for me. And seeing as I got your attention now, happy belated birthday. Hope you had all the bacon. Can you play me some Stained? Hope you both have a beautiful day. Thanks, Allison. Try to get to some Stained here in just a bit. I didn't actually get any bacon for my birthday. Which
now
is
that you're
weird.
Thinking about it?
Yeah. I got a bunch of scratch tickets. I got some cool presents. I got a bunch of cards. I got some money. and a bunch of Jameson. But I didn't get any bacon.
You did get a meat tray, though. I saw that you could pick that up.
Yeah, I got that from Josh.
He didn't,
it was good.
Yeah, it was very good.
But thanks, Allison. Appreciate that. Brewers getting the win over the Cubbies yesterday.
Corner, soft little pop-up into shallow left. Ortiz is out, reaches up, makes the catch, and the Brewers take game one at Wrigley. What a performance by the pitching staff, and the offense was there to back them up.
Yeah, and kind of fitting for Joey Ortiz to record that last out, as busy as he was with the ground balls that short today. And what a game in game one. This is a statement game.
9-3 the final score. Same two teams tonight at 6:40. NHL last night, Game 7. You know it's going to be exciting. when it's Game 7. You know it's going to be even more exciting when it's Game 7 and you get overtime.
Norris and Evans again. Poked back by Norris. Colleen pressured by Davidoff. The puck is free and taken by Alexander Carrier. Headman's the puck. Shot. Score! Montreal wins Game 7.
3-2, the final score in overtime. They advance to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Hurricanes. That series starts on Thursday at 7 p.m. on TNT and True TV. Meanwhile, the Western Conference Finals begin tomorrow night at 7 on ESPN with the Vegas Golden Knights at the Colorado Avalanche. Hockey, baby. Playoff hockey. NBA last night, Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. The Spurs needed double overtime to beat the Thunder.
He missed on purpose, trying to get the rebound. It's fought for. Wembanyama secures it, and it's just going to throw it up court to Luke Cornett. And the San Antonio Spurs on an epic night from their superstar. 41 and 24 boards for Victor Wembanyama. The Spurs take Game 1.
Wemby scores 41, gets 24 boards. Messed around, got a double-double, and the Spurs over the Thunder in double overtime, 122 to 115. The NBA tonight, Eastern Conference Finals get started with the Cavs at the Knicks, 7 o'clock on ESPN. Elsewhere in the association, the New Orleans Pelicans are hiring former Orlando Magic head coach Jamal Mosley as their new head coach on a 5-year contract. And in baseball, the Nationals have identified at least one person who will be banned from the ballpark after a banner promoting a white nationalist website was unfurled in the crowd during the game on Sunday. A team spokesperson also said the Nationals are coordinating with the D.C. police on an investigation in addition to the website that was on the banner. It also said, "Save America and deport 100+ million" before it was quickly taken down.
Ugh.
So, yeah, they identified at least one person associated with that.
They're like, you cannot come to games. That'll be good for us. Don't come to the games anymore.
Nashville. We heard rumors. Now it looks like
Super Bowl?
Later today it's going to be official. They've got a board meeting and they got to vote on this. But Nashville is going to host the Super Bowl in 2030.
Doesn't that make sense? Brand new stadium.
NFL owners are going to vote for the city later on today during their spring league meeting. It'll be the first time that Music City would host the Super Bowl, showcasing the Titans' new stadium, which should be completed and open sometime next year.
Yeah, well, it's got everything. You know what I mean? It's got all the hotels and
restaurants, bars, all that stuff.
Downtown area, the beautiful river that's right there, brand new stadium. It's got everything. And that's center of the country.
The real issue with a lot of these cities is hotels, honestly. Like, a lot of these cities have all of the lifestyle, the nightlife, the bars, the restaurants, all the stuff, but in terms of the number of hotel rooms, a lot of bigger cities just don't have that, so you got to stay in some of the suburbs, but in Nashville, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, and I imagine that years ago they never thought of Nashville as the host of the Super Bowl, and it's changed over the years so much.
Well, and in February, the weather's generally not too bad in Nashville in February.
Milder.
Not a northeast or a Midwestern city, at least. And speaking of a Midwestern city, the Twin Cities are going to be hosting the NFL Draft in 2028. Minneapolis going to host the 2028 draft after the league votes on that later on today. So they're voting on the Super Bowl going to Nashville and the draft coming to Minneapolis in 2028. So, cool. It's Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. We got some gasoline in just a bit. Got a text from Ray who said he was driving to work and saw a trampoline in the middle of the road.
Yes, I'm telling you, I think there was some really powerful winds last night, and there could be things askew my, it doesn't matter to anybody else, but all my patio furniture was blown over when I woke up this morning. So definitely there was a big branch in the road. I got out and had to move. So there could be trampolines and furniture and sticks and branches and trees and all sorts of stuff, because strong winds, part of that storm system that moved through the area last night. Now it looks like it's going to be some rain lingering throughout the morning, kind of a gloomy afternoon, it looks like, and things a little bit cooler. Boy, it was kind of hot and sticky yesterday afternoon. Got done here, went grocery shopping quick because we had been out of town for the weekend. Then I mowed and cleaned up in the backyard. Man, did I get sweaty. It was really, it was that in the late afternoon yesterday.
I'm saving that for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Partly cloudy and 63 tomorrow.
A little better, yeah.
Saving that for then. Gasoline in a couple of minutes.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on your rock station.
Story of the year with gasoline. Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. We watched that new Mummy movie that came out a few months ago. Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Why is our daughter in a 3,000-year-old sarcophagus?
Okay, yes.
It's important you fully prepare yourself for what you're about to see. No sudden moves. No loud noises.
Hey, Butterfly. It's Mom and Dad.
Yeah, we are here. We're here.
She's been missing for 8 years. What was our daughter doing in a 3,000-year-old sarcophagus?
What was she doing in there?
Well, you find out. You certainly find out. Lee Cronin's.
Was it good?
It was okay. It was there was a couple of spots, and I don't know if they cut it for time, but there were some spots there where there were some unanswered questions. There was a scene where, so the gist of it, without giving out too much away of the movie, Lee Cronin's The Mummy. We watched it on a streaming service last night. The daughter goes missing while they're on a family trip, a work trip, if you will, in Egypt. And 8 years pass. They have another daughter. They've got the son that they had before the first daughter went missing. And then the Egyptian officials find the daughter, right? Mm-hmm. The original daughter. So then they go and they get the daughter and they realize, she's all whacked out and messed up.
Yeah,
and they're not lying to them. They're, why is my daughter in this sarcophagus? And they don't have a lot of answers and yada, yada, yada. One of the parts that was, they never went back to the sarcophagus. Like, this thing was in a museum or it was like a medical examiner's office when they open it up and they start taking the things off and they find the body in there and the girl comes back to life or whatever. But, that was so early in the movie and they never went back to it. You know what I mean? Like, even the lady that was investigating the crime in
right. Should
Egypt.
we dust the sarcophagus?
Never went back to the ME, never, talked to anybody. In the whole, and, would it...
Number one.
This girl was found in this 3,000-year-old sarcophagus, and no one's going to be like, hey, maybe we should go check out the sarcophagus. You know what I mean? Nothing about that,
Never came back.
All these, leather straps that they bound her, all this, and, it never became the focus of the movie. It was just, and it was still a good movie.
Decent watch, all right, decent
But it was
watch.
just sort of why, look, I look at it very, linear, beginning to end. And I'm just, the first thing I want to know is, let's get a look at this sarcophagus that my daughter was found in 8 years later. You know what I mean? Let's see what that's all about. And then, it's not like the building burned up or whatever. It's not like the sarcophagus again went missing. It was still in the ME's office, I'm assuming. And then there was another scene later in the movie where all the stuff's happening, right? The mummy finally shows up and everything's going wrong and everything's going crazy. And the daughter, who's the mummy, is controlling some of the other people in the house with her mummy.
Away too much.
With her mummy stuff.
Too much. I might want to watch this.
Again. And the girl, the younger girl, is getting and then they never go back to figure out. The mom never goes to see what's happening with her, and you're just sort of
some things left unattended. There were some storylines that were left unattended.
There was some stuff there that didn't get really. There wasn't a deep dive into some of that stuff, and I get it, right? You got to edit these movies for time, and you got to take out stuff that maybe isn't all that important to the plot. Mm-hmm. It was still scary. It was still spooky. It was well done. I enjoyed the movie, but Lee Cronin's The Mummy, definitely some stuff in the movie that I was wondering why they didn't do that.
Got it.
Anyways, and anytime you got kids in horror movies being the bad guy, as opposed, the Weapons movie, when they're running around like this, that's infinitely creepier than when it's an adult.
Already creepy points. Already creepy points, yes.
NBA on NBC tonight. The NBA Conference Finals get started under the roof of Madison Square Garden. Knicks hosting the Cleveland Cavaliers in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals in the NBA. That tips off at 7 o'clock on NBC. Also tonight on Bravo, the series premiere of In the City starts at 8 o'clock. It's a reality series about New Yorkers navigating the biggest transitions of their lives, a.k.a. marriage, separation, parenthood, etc., etc.
I promise to make you proud, to make you laugh, probably make you cry.
You had a kid with a guy after 2 months.
It sounds like you're judging me. Blog called me a homewrecker.
Is that true?
Go yourself.
Yvonne and Nick. Yvonne and
Nick, are you married to Yvonne or not?
Yes. That's not what you said at boys' night.
Bombshell news that Summer House's Kyle and Amanda have broken up.
So what happened?
Are you ready for this?
This season on In the City.
We'll find out.
Did that guy just burp on me?
In the City. Reality on Bravo. Also, a new episode of Bear Grylls is running wild on Fox tonight at 8 p.m. His guest is Michelle Monaghan, the actress. And on Netflix today, a new stand-up special from Wanda Sykes called Legacy. That's not Legacy. My bad. Wanda Sykes' Legacy new stand-up special on Netflix today. Fallon is new tonight with John Travolta and Anna Gasteyer. Wanda Sykes, speaking of her, she'll be on with Jimmy Kimmel promoting her new Netflix special. Stephen Colbert, again, only a couple more shows before his show comes to an end. He's got Jon Stewart, Steven Spielberg, and Daniel Byrne as his guests this evening. That's what's on the boob tube. If you're looking for something new on DVD to watch, Avatar, Fire and Ash, rated PG-13, the blue people, right? Also, Reminders of Him, rated PG-13. You've got Tyreek Withers, Lauren Graham, Micah Monroe. After prison, a woman attempts to reconnect with her young daughter, but faces resistance from everyone except a bar owner with ties to her child. It's called Reminders of Him, and I give that one 2 thumbs down. Also on DVD today for New Release Tuesday, rated R, The Bride. This is the movie directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal, and it's The Bride of Frankenstein.
What happened?
You had an accident.
An accident, huh?
We dug you up. Then we brought you back to life.
Get on stage, and I call her by her first name. What do you want with a dead girl?
I'm the same. Born from the dead. I am a monster.
Yeah, so am I.
Yeah, The Bride, rated R on DVD today, starring Jessie Buckley, Christian Bale, Annette Bening, Penelope Cruz, Peter Skarsgård, Jake Gyllenhaal. Frankenstein Wants a Wife. Also on DVD today, rated R, it's called The Yeti.
Not the cooler. I'm assuming the...
Yeah, like the Abominable Snowman. Yeah, so a couple vanish in Alaska, and some of their loved ones start a search, but an ancient threat stalks their expedition into the wilderness.
That beast. Been around since for the birth of Christ.
20,000 years of primal evolution.
The Yeti, rated R on DVD today for New Release Tuesday. You've also got Season 2 of Fallout on DVD. Wheel of Fortune, much like everybody and their grandmother, going to be celebrating America's 250th in the summer months.
By doing what? Is it special episodes, special guests,
Yes.
special themes?
They're going to have 2 weeks of patriotic programming sponsored by Coca-Cola. The shows will air on the weeks of June 1st and the 29th. So there'll be some time off in between. Ryan Seacrest, Vanna White, and Coca-Cola will help viewers drink in the spirit, sights, and stories of America through the lens of one of television's most beloved shows.
So the questions will be America focused? Is that what they're saying?
Probably. Well, they don't really. It'll probably be the
categories.
The categories,
Yes.
maybe more American. And, Yeah. There's also a contest that viewers can enter called Drink In America Giveaway. Chance to win a trip to either a national park or Universal Studios. You can Google that if you want to find out more. But Wheel of Fortune, much like everybody, going to be doing a America 250 celebration next month.
Ryan Seacrest okay? Did somebody check on him? I thought there was concern about his face.
Yeah, his face. I don't know. They must have looked in on him. He must be all right. Maybe
He's
he got
hosting this now, so I think he's doing okay.
Maybe he went back and got a
he
redo.
insists everything's fine, by the way, and he's sick of the topic about how he looks. So he says he's good.
These people love to mess with their looks, and then they get sick of the topic of how they look. Bitch, you can't have it both ways.
He says
Which
he's
one
in
do you
great
want?
shape. Leave me alone. He's sick of the topic.
Well, tough, dude. You're on TV every single day of the year.
Everything's fine.
We're going to talk about the way you look. That's just the reality of it all, dude. That's the contract that you signed when you became famous. That you're going to be on TV and on screen and in pictures.
He's just cashing another paycheck. So,
also in Hollywood-related news, not a good start for the Harry Potter show. Obviously, there's a new Harry Potter show coming, and one of the main actors, one of the main kids, is already leaving the show after one season, which hasn't even aired yet.
I was just going to say,
doesn't come out till Christmas. One of the kids from HBO's new Harry Potter series already quitting the show after just one season. Her name is Gracie Cochran. She plays Ron Weasley's little sister, Ginny, and she left the show due to unforeseen circumstances. A statement from her family says that her time on the show was truly wonderful. It was a challenging decision to step away, and that she remains very excited about the opportunities her future holds. Season 1, by the way, premieres this Christmas with the title Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. The plan is for each season of the show to cover one of the books, but they're already losing one of the main cast members after one season of filming.
Well, a young person, maybe it's not meant for her. Maybe
young girl on a Hollywood set. You never know. You hope that those are not the realities of it.
That's true.
But you hear it all too often. I think I'm good with the Harry Potter. I saw the movies. I don't
Read
know
the
if
books.
No. Much like Shaw, I'm good. I saw the movies. You know, I don't need to read the books.
Are you going to Universal at all? Or are you just, okay, you're
when
going
we're
to
at Disney,
yeah.
no. We're just going to Disney and doing Disney and Epcot. And we're only there for like 5 days. So there's like one park for each day. And, you know, we're going to drink around the world at Epcot. And yeah, so trying to
there's plenty to see. I just was wondering because somebody just recently was telling me about how much, how cool the Harry Potter world at Universal actually is. And we didn't get there either, so it's immersive and very cool, and you know, obviously based on the beloved franchise. But I didn't know if you were trying to take that into or not. But
yeah, we don't have any plans to go to Universal, so and we've got to kind of buy all our tickets in advance and all that stuff. So
probably not.
As far as I know, we won't be. We got some Papa Roach coming up in just a bit. RockMornings.com. If you want to get in touch with us, don't forget you can also download the apps. Grant Bilse will join us just after 8 a.m. Going to talk about America's favorite pizza.
Okay, I'm game.
And we're going to kind of a hypothetical question on Tuesday about freezing time.
Okay.
Get to all that and more in just a bit.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Got a text from someone who said the wind was so wicked.
Yep.
Last night there was a flagpole that got busted. They had to turn around and pick up the flag off the ground. That is some heavy-duty wind. Yeah, when I left my house this morning at about 1:20, 1:30, somewhere around there, my flag was still safely in its holder, sticking out of the side of the house, and the hanging baskets were still there as well. So, knock on wood, they'll still be there when I get home.
Yeah, we heard a trampoline across the field and some branches down, half a tree. So
Ray that texted in
strong
about
winds
the
last night.
Trampoline in the middle of the road. That's always fun when those things go airborne. Also, Allison talking about ramagrat, like a rice pudding type thing that we had on Sunday.
You had a traditional Norwegian meal, and that was part of it.
It was okay. It was okay. I'm sure it was done well. I'm sure it was cooked right to order, but it just didn't appeal to me. To each their own. Also, don't forget you can download the apps, whether it's the 95.7 The Rock app or the 92.9 The X app. And you can leave us voicemails or pictures or videos. We actually got a picture last week on my birthday from Ted. Said, "Happy birthday, Brian. Here's a cloud shaped like bacon for you. Enjoy." Look at that.
Was it really?
Kind of. I mean, like a little bit. Got a little bit of a bacon shape there. That's cool. Looks beautiful. Thank you, Ted. And we got a voicemail this morning from Sarah.
Good morning, Brian and Gene. I am really craving some Royal Bliss this morning, so if you get a chance, could you throw it on for me? I appreciate it. Have a great day.
Front and center, Sarah showed up at my my birthday party on Friday night. It was good to see her. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate that. Try to get to that royal bliss. Also got a video from Avery. This was on Saturday. Avery said, Blackstone Cherry, my first rock concert. Included some video of Blackstone
No
Cherry.
way, really?
Yeah, look at him right there.
Oh, that's cool.
Look at that. Little 6-second clip.
They sent us a video. Wow,
Blackstone
thanks for
Cherry.
sharing. Oh, yeah.
Me and Mary Jane got
Yeah.
a thing going on. Very cool. Looks
That's
they're
awesome.
Up in the 200s there.
I was in Madison on Saturday night, and
Yeah.
we knew tons of people that were going to Shinedown. Yeah,
and
well, so
Highly Suspect on Sunday.
I wasn't in that area of downtown by the Kohl Center at all. That's not where we were located in Madison. But on Sunday, we went to Costco on our way home and stopped there and waited out the storm with about 1,000 other people
Just
in the
trying to get
vestibule
inside, yeah.
of Costco. And there were a number of people that we saw that had tour shirts on. And everybody, I'm like, how was the show? And they're, oh, man, it's great. Apparently, it was really, really good. And a lot of people were big fans of the Shinedown show in Madison on Saturday.
Very cool. Seen a lot of people when the weather's nicer, at least, posting their kids selling lemonade on the side of the road. It's a very popular way to make a couple of bucks here and there in the summer months for kids, especially very little kids. Some kids will go out and mow lawns, make a few extra bucks, try to save up for something, whether it's a skateboard or baseball bat or whatever it is they're looking to get, video game. This kid is 10 years old. He's an entrepreneur from Texas. His name is Ernesto. And he saved up his allowance money along with any other money that he got, whether it was in a birthday card or by doing some chores around the house, and bought his own 3D printer and set up his own workshop at his house. And now he's building his business where he designs and prints keychains, whistles, can openers, and stuff that's meant to help people dealing with anxiety, ADHD, and stress.
I would wake up early and set something to print while I'm at school. Or after school, I would print something, and before football practice, I would also print something. I told my mom I wanted to make money with 3D prints. My mom said that I could save up my chore money and buy my own 3D printer with my money. Help people with anxiety, ADHD, and stress.
Yeah.
The business is called Jungle, and doing it because I want to invest a house for my mom and me when I grow older.
Look at this kid, Ernesto from Texas. Began as a fun way to make some keychains and some stuff for his classmates.
Then he realized the power of it and what he could
accomplish. Grown into a small business for the young entrepreneur in Brownsville, Texas. Multiple printers running at once, products being sold in a local store. Got himself a small workshop at his house, spends his days designing and printing colorful creations that include the keychains, whistles, can openers, and fidget-style items meant to help people that deal with anxiety or ADHD or stress. First idea took shape a few months ago when Ernesto told his mom that he wanted to earn some money through 3D printing. And instead of simply buying him machines, she encouraged him to work and save up for it himself. After he saved up $500, you know how hard it is for
Ernesto,
a 10-year-old boy
to save
$500. He bought his first 3D printer and launched Prestige 3D Labs. Taught himself how to custom create designs, watching online tutorials, and then quickly realized there was actual real demand for his products. This kid, Ernesto, business growing fast, said he already made around $1,500 in profit. Demand became so strong that he partnered with a local clothing store called Jungle to help sell his creations.
So his merch is there, available at their storefront, and you can walk in and support his business.
Yep.
Ernesto's
10-year-old
going
Ernesto
places.
going places with his 3D printer. Look at this guy.
Yeah, he's got a plan.
Knows what he's doing. It's Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. We've got some Ice Nine Kills in a bit. We'll try to get to Sarah's Royal Bliss as well. rockmornings.com to get in touch with us. You can also, of course, as we mentioned, download the apps and submit voicemails and pictures and videos. Yeah, video. First ever Blackstone Cherry concert. How cool was that? From Avery.
It's nice. Thanks for sharing.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Start your day with Rock Mornings.
Normally, we save these hypothetical types of scenarios for Thursday, and we'll still do Hypothetical Thursday, and we'll still talk to Office Cora, find out what she's up to in the 715. But this one came across my desk this morning, and so I thought I would bring it up. A little exercise for the class. Kind of an interesting question. I'm almost 100% positive I know your answer to this, and I'm sure you already know my answer to this. If you could freeze time, would you do anything illegal? That's not to say everything illegal. It doesn't really quantify how much time you freeze, right? Do I have an hour? Do I have a day? Do I have a week? Do I have a month? Like, it just, if you could freeze time.
That's the first thing you'd think to do if you froze time. I mean, I guess in this case...
Well, again, how much time is it?
Right.
If I've only got an hour, then yeah, I'm probably going to rob the bank real quick.
What?
Well, the assumption is you freeze time and no one knows of your
what
crime.
Happens.
Right. Time stops, and then when it starts again, the money's gone and you're nowhere to be found and you haven't left any.
Could I make it so I could buy the Powerball ticket before the winner at the store that I know it was in? Because then I'm not really... Am I a criming? Is that a criming... I'm using information to be the person next in line to buy that.
I don't think it works that
ticket.
way because you can't buy the ticket after the numbers are out. The ticket sales stop an hour before the numbers get
but I'm frozen in time, so I know who the winner was at this particular gas station on this particular day.
So then you're going to go and steal the ticket from them? You're not going back. This isn't time travel. This is freezing time.
No, now there's rules.
Two totally
and
different
regulations.
things. All right, we're not going to play these exercises if you don't abide by the rules. It's not time travel. It's freezing time. So everything just stops. Much like in the Matrix.
Moving around?
But you have freedom to move around and do whatever you want. Are you going to do anything illegal with that time?
Probably not. No.
I knew that would be your answer. I'm glad that most people are like me. You think you're so superior because you do nice things and you got a bench with your name on it.
I can't
86% of people said yes. 86.
Right.
That's an overwhelming.
Yes. But here's the thing. So let's just say you were in Disney at the time you froze time, and there's a big giant line, and you want to get on the ride, and you're freezing time so you can jump to the front. You still can't go on the ride though because nothing's happening, right? Everything's just stuck that way it is.
Yeah, but then when time unfreezes,
then you're in the first row.
At the front of the line, you get on the ride.
Because I did push my children sort of illegally through this line once at Disney, and they will not let me forget that I.
What was the scenario there? What'd you do there, lawbreaker?
This was years ago, and we were in line.
When I was a different person. Now I'm nice, and now I've got
Phantasm,
and I try to quantify all of this.
It was Phantasm, and I was trying. And Mike and Henry were off doing some other ride, and they were going to meet up with us, and so we had to get 5 seats together in this theater to see the one showing that was that night. And I pushed the girls. I'm like, okay, I'm pushing you through underneath that. Run that way, and then pretend you're lost and start crying.
Oh man!
And they did.
The whole song and dance. The entire song and dance.
I lifted up the rope and I shoved them that way, and then I was like, "Oh my god, my girls! I get separate." But I'm way over here behind the line. And I'm like, I have to, and so then they let me through to get up.
Wow!
Reunited with my children, and then we got 5 seats.
There's that little lawbreaker. There's that little lawbreaker. You're in the 86%.
I did. And I didn't think they'd remember it so vividly, but they do. And it's always, like that one time in Disney.
Yeah.
It's like I have that one story they like to throw back at me.
See, if you just broke the law all the time, it wouldn't be. It'd just be another Tuesday in Gene's world.
One time. Remember that time at Disney? Yeah. Thanks.
Random poll asking people that if they could freeze time, would you do anything illegal? 86% of people said yes.
Said, like, hell yeah,
they would. 13 to 14% of people said they would not.
But it could very, very, very much range.
I will say
the illegal thing is.
The poll did note that minor crimes don't count. So, like taking a candy bar, or whatever that small speeding really fast, on the highway because time is for whatever that minor crime is.
That does not count in the 86%.
No. People joyously talked about never paying for groceries, right?
Oh, so we can continuously freeze time, or it's a one-time only thing? I guess they're saying...
It doesn't, it doesn't really specify in the online poll.
Okay. So they're saying every
Robbing
time I go...
from big businesses, becoming a poker shark, so everyone's at the table and you can go and see their...
that's what I'm... Like, you somehow I said information...
That's still criminal. That's still criminal.
I know, but
I know you're trying to place yourself in a spot where you're not the criminal,
but that's more of what I'm in tune to, what I'm hearing.
You're going around looking at their cards and
Yes.
maybe taking other cards out of the deck and stacking your hand so you've got a better shot at winning.
Maybe. That was a lot of words to say that, but yeah, sure.
Trespassing for the sake of anonymous investigative reporting, a.k.a. looking at naked people. Somebody said switching the clothes of two people.
That sounds like more like a practical joke
That's
than
not
a crime,
That's not
is it?
I mean,
That's
I
just
guess it's illegal, but it's not. It's just a dumb prank. And if you're not there when everybody unfreezes, what's the point? A lot of people obviously want to perv on nudity. They want to perv on naked people, right? They want to
So
go.
they're freezing time and they're going to go look in a window or going to go into somebody's bedroom or something?
Yeah, dude, I'm getting the money, and then I'm unfreezing time.
I see
and
with
then
the
I'm
grocery store. I didn't realize it was like every time you go there, everybody freezes. You go shopping. You know,
That'd
this
be
time.
delightful.
This time, I'm getting fresh fish.
I don't have any problem.
Getting a tenderloin.
Look, I don't want to pay for groceries, but I don't have any problem with it.
Yeah.
I just don't like the people there. You know, they get in the way and they go off grazing.
I like the prankster. I'm going to do a bunch of tomfoolery and then unfreeze.
If you could freeze time, would you do anything illegal? 86% of people
Fill
said
up that tank of gas and then
hell
leave.
yeah. I don't know if you'd be able to, right? If time is frozen, the gas isn't coming out of the tank.
No, I think it is. Just like you can grocery shop,
Right.
I would think.
I'm getting the money, Gene. Right in the vault. Emptying the bank vault. Doc's with me as well. Doc texting in said, I'm emptying the bank vault and the box of candy bars by the teller. Those things are addictive.
He likes those ones with caramel in it, those caramel ones. Those
like the
dollar when
Toblerones?
when you sell them for school
yeah.
benefits,
For
the
school
caramel
bennies?
ones.
Yeah.
Carmelos or whatever, Doc.
Yeah, again, if you could freeze time, would you do anything illegal? A random online poll on a hypothetical Tuesday, and 86% of people agree with me that yes, that would be the perfect time to do some crime. Somebody else said, I'm with you robbing a bank. Dude, we're poor, all right? We're sick of being poor. It's never going to change. We're never going to have the opportunity to get rich. It's just not.
Look inside someone's.
No, I don't care. I can see nudity every day on the internet.
Oh.
I don't need anything like that. I'm good. It already exists. I don't need that pervy, weird. I got it all there on the internet. It's good for me. But the money is the thing that's never going to materialize for poor people like us. Okay?
You change the outcome of the Super Bowl right at the last second. So your team is victorious. Would you go back in time to that one?
Well, that's time. Now you're talking time travel. I would time travel and knock that ball out. I would have either Eli would get sacked or David Tyree wouldn't catch the ball. I mean, I don't know which one had more impact on it, one or the other.
But you change that. If you
probably the
knock
sack
it
of Eli.
right out of the...
It's probably the sack of Eli, because if you sack him, I think that was third down, and they would probably have to kick the ball. And yeah, that
perfect season and the.
But that's time travel and freezing time. Those are two.
Yeah, I hear you.
Sarah wanted some Royal Bliss, and who am I to say no?
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find the daily podcast at rockmornings.com.
Corner, soft little pop-up into shallow left. Ortiz is out, reaches up, makes the catch, and the Brewers take game one at Wrigley. What a performance by the pitching staff, and the offense was there to back him up.
Yeah, kind of fitting for Joey Ortiz to record that last out, as busy as he was with the ground balls at short today. And what a game in game one. This is a statement game.
Brew Crew over the Cubbies last night in the first game of that 3-game series in Chicago. Second game is tonight at 6:40, first pitch. NBA last night. Spurs over the Thunder in double overtime, 122-115. They take a 1-0 series lead. And tonight you've got the Eastern Conference Finals getting underway with the Cavs in New York to take on the Knicks. That tips off at 7 p.m. on ESPN. NHL hockey last night, Canadians beating the Sabres in overtime 3-2. They advance to the Eastern Finals, where they'll meet up with the Hurricanes. That series will start on Thursday.
Thursday night.
7 o'clock on TNT and True TV. And then, let's see, Western Conference begins tomorrow night at 7 on ESPN with the Golden Knights at the Colorado Avalanche. NFL defending It's expanded the lineup of games on streaming platforms amid criticism from the president and from the U.S. Justice Department. They're looking into it. They say, experts say it could cost the average NFL fan $700 to $1,000.
What?
Just to pay for all of the different streaming services you have to have if you want to watch every NFL game. Netflix, Prime Video, NFL Network, Peacock/NBC, Fox, CBS, ESPN Plus, Paramount Plus, YouTube TV, and the NFL Sunday Ticket. If you have to have all of those in order to watch all the NFL games, that'll cost you, on average, $700 to $1,000 a year.
And do they at any point think there's a problem with any of that for continued fan
loyalty? The NFL
loyalty?
doesn't care. They don't care. As long as they're making money. Look,
no, I know. I get it. I understand the money
until the numbers go down.
That's what I'm saying.
They won't
think
care.
that it has any negative effect on long-term fan bases? Not people who already are passionate fans of
I don't think they care. Again,
team,
it's
but
not
their
about
product in general.
For them, it's not about fans. It's about money. It's about numbers, right? And we're seeing this expansion into the global market, right? We've got more games than ever. It used to be one game a season, maybe you'd see in Europe, right? Now we've got 9 international games, and they're all over the place. The owners are all expanding their portfolios. You've got the Fenway Group people that are buying into soccer teams. You got Grant, they're buying F1 cars and all this other stuff. So, these billionaires are and I don't know why the hell you wouldn't rob a bank at this point. I mean, I don't know how many times I got to explain it to you that it's the system's set up against you.
So their fandom they're going broad instead of deep, right? It doesn't matter how much that passion
until the numbers start to slide on a regular basis. Look, you're going to have a COVID year, right? You're going to have a year where things are down, right? Where maybe they're not as good as they used to be. Or a couple of months where things are down because you have bad matchups, right? Those Thursday night matchups on Amazon Prime. Sometimes they're just really crappy. But until the numbers start to precipitously drop or continue to slide.
Or these team owners say something. Because I could see, like I said, if your passion is broad versus depth, you could be fans of teams, sort of. But then they stink. And you got to go through 10 years of a stinky team, and who does that?
They don't care. As long as the billionaires,
the true fans do that.
As long as the billionaires who own the teams are getting paid and making their money, they don't give a rat's ass about the fans. They don't care about you. They don't care about me.
How you watch it, if you can watch it.
They don't. They really don't. They don't care about us. They don't care about the players. They don't. They say they do, but what they care about is the almighty dollar. I don't blame them. I mean, that's the system we're living in, right? They put on a product for us to enjoy, and we can choose whether or not we like it or we invest ourselves in it, and most people invest themselves in it. They do.
So how many hoops do we got to go through to watch our games this year?
Again, there's 10 different subscriptions that you need in order to watch all of the NFL games this coming season. They include Netflix, Prime Video, NFL Network, Peacock and NBC, Fox, CBS, ESPN Plus, Paramount Plus, YouTube TV, and the NFL Sunday Ticket. The NFL Vice President of Media Distribution, Hans Schrader, last week suggested that the league has no intention of pulling back from its partnership with streaming services, saying, quote, "We love our model. F them fans." All right, he didn't say that part. "We think we have the most fan-friendly model there is of any sport or entertainment as far as distribution. The NFL does air 87% of its games on free broadcast networks like CBS, NBC, Fox, and ABC. But Schrader did argue that the league is actually meeting consumers where they are in the era of cord cutting by adding games on platforms like Netflix. I think, look, again, if you gave fans the option of what they had with the League Pass, right, where you would get DirecTV and you'd have all the games on one spot. Now it's like I have to.
Yes, simplify this to make it so.
But they can't because there's so much money to be made. Amazon wants a piece, and Netflix wants a piece, and this place wants a piece.
I want to watch the NF. I want to watch the North, right?
The NFL won't make enough money if they do that.
I can watch.
They won't. They won't. They just won't. And look, that's the model that I want. I would happily pay $20 every single game that the Patriots have. I'd pay for all 17 games.
And I don't have to.
And it would be one place,
right?
Whether it's Netflix,
called Patriots Channel or something. And
I would happily pay that, right? But they don't want that because then you're segmenting the fans so much that the fans have power now as to where they want to watch it, as opposed to the distributors. And that's where the money comes in. So they're never going to change.
Well, even if they did different distributors, if they split the money somehow, right? This game's on this, and it only lets you have that channel for that day of those games. I mean, you can get them now for the 7-day trial for nothing anyway. So what if it's like, okay, Brian gets Amazon on December 17th and he gets Netflix on November 28th and he gets whatever the channel is that the Patriots are on for those games.
How many people are going to go through that rigmarole in order...
you get what I'm saying.
Oh, trust me, I understand what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're laying down, but the NFL doesn't care about the fans. They care about the almighty dollar. And right now, they got us by the short and curlies, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to keep doing whatever it is that makes them the most money. I mean, that's what business is, right? Isn't that what we try to do as a business? We try to make as much money as possible.
But what I'm saying is that you grow your fandom broad, but you don't have the depth. And then, you go through lean times, and does it stick around? And I think the owners will be the only people that will be able to do anything about that.
Yeah,
they're never going to...
No, they're billionaires. Do you think billionaires care about human beings? They don't. They care about money. That's why they got to be billionaires, because they stepped on a lot of people to get to where they got to be. And whatever, man, we're part of the machine, right? We're all in the meat grinder. So, but the NFL, of course, we got the best fan model. It's great. 87% of the games. Maybe not your game, but 87% of them. 10 different platforms, though, you got to have this coming season, if you want to watch all of the games.
Gross.
Yep. And until that almighty dollar stops flooding into the pockets of those billionaire owners, it's not going to change. It's, in fact, going to get much worse. Sorry to say. We've got Grant Bilse joining us next hour to talk about Wisco sports in general. We've also got some Stone Temple Pilots in a few minutes, so don't go anywhere.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Weekdays, 6 to 9.
Got a text from Remy, who said, I'm with you on robbing a bank. Again, the question was, if you could freeze time, would you commit a crime? Would you do something illegal? 86% of people in a random online poll said, hell yeah. 13% of people said no. 1% said undecided. Jean wants to do crimes that aren't really crimes, so she doesn't feel too bad about herself. I'm fine with committing crimes. Also got a text from Doc, who said, I'm emptying out the bank vault and the box of candy bars by the teller. Those things are addicting. Ulterior motive there, Doc.
Yeah, like getting some donuts.
Stacks of cash.
Stop and getting a free dozen donuts is not as necessary.
They got any free candy? They got a free candy dish out front that you want to empty into your bag while you're stealing all them stacks of cash? Had several texts about the wind earlier today. Had one guy found a flagpole that was busted. Oof. Had to turn around and pick up the flag off the ground. Thank you for doing that. Also had one from Ray, who said he found a trampoline in the middle of the road.
That's what we were talking about. Very windy last night. Branches down, trampolines and roads.
Allison also texting in about the ramagrat that I enjoyed this weekend.
Norwegian rice
pudding thing?
Cereal pudding
She said it's way better with brown sugar. Or cinnamon sugar and ramagrat is better than just brown sugar. FYI. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. It was fine, but I wouldn't choose to eat it. It's not, give me a big chocolate cake. Or an apple pie or something. It was fine. Speaking of food, this past Friday was National Pizza Party Day. Favorite place to order pizza? This is national chains. Do you have one?
We usually get pizza locally, like
same
from
as
us. So it's hard for me to, pick one. And I don't even know if it's national because it might be more regional. But I did, for us growing up, it was fancy and rare, and I do really like their sauce and their pepper or their sausages because I know they make them with their own blend. I do indulge once in a while in a Rocky Rococo's.
Okay.
Because it was like,
I think they're national.
We got just the cheapest frozen at home, and if we were ever going to get it was a Rockies.
Look, if the wife and I want to have pizza on a Tuesday or Wednesday night, we're just going to take a frozen pizza out of the oven or out of the freezer and put it in the oven and go that route. I couldn't tell you the last time we ordered a pizza from a national distributor. I have no idea when that was. It had to have been years ago. And we weren't ever really that big on it anyways. You know, obviously when you're in college and you only have $5, a hot and ready will do.
And we've done that many times for parties that we've had and gatherings,
or if
birthday
you have a
parties.
bunch of people coming over and you need 12 pizzas and you don't want to spend $1 million.
Oh, we just had one a couple of weeks ago for when somebody left. We had it going away and we had pizza from a delivery. What's up?
But according to a new report, Pizza Hut, #1, America's favorite pizza chain.
Did you see they're doing the retro thing?
Yeah, so they brought back the Book It program where you read books and you get a personal pan pizza, right? They just brought that back.
For
and
kids.
now they're also bringing back the retro vibes with the modern prices.
Yeah, I saw some restaurants that have already
so
embraced
they're doing
that.
the red plastic glasses are making a comeback. The roofs, if you will, of the structures are going to change. They're going to go back to that original roof.
The salad bar. Do you remember the salad bar?
The salad bar is coming back, and so are the plastic tablecloths with like
the red and white checker.
The red and white checker with, I think, the fur underneath to help them grip onto the table. So yeah, Pizza Hut's going retro with everything except for the prices.
The nostalgia of
and they're
right?
apparently America's
stained glass light fixtures.
Favorite pizza chain. 19% of people in a recent survey said that Pizza Hut was their preferred place for a mass order. Domino's came in next at 17%. Papa John's was in third with 11%.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Little Caesars coming in at fourth, 5.3% of the vote.
Pizza.
And then Marco's Pizza at fifth with 4.7%. By the way, a nice little thing about this, 22% of people in this survey did say they would choose some other local or regional brand rather than the 8 national brands that were suggested in the survey. So people are definitely buying local when it comes to pizza. And I don't have a problem paying more for local pizza. 99% of the time, it's way better. You know?
I agree. And then you usually have your favorite, whether it's right around the corner because it's close to your neighborhood, or you just love the way that they.
Look, there's different places for different types of pizza. Like one place has the really good taco pizza, one place has the really good pepperoni pizza, one place has the really cool upscale pizzas, right? With the burrata and the Neapolitan and all that stuff. You know, one place has, a certain kind of crust that you like.
One is more, we're going out for pizza.
Right.
Or this one is a strictly takeout kind of a place.
Not to mention the different styles, whether you're looking for Chicago style or a New York style or whatever. But, yeah, there's a survey out there that says Pizza Hut apparently is our favorite when it comes to national chains.
And they are doing some of those retro stores in Wisconsin as well. I haven't seen a list of exactly where those locations are, but I'm sure if you're looking to make a road trip and enjoy the Pizza Hut classic, the retro style, the nostalgia that they're bringing back in certain restaurants, it's one of the states is Wisconsin.
Got a text from someone, not quite sure who it is. This is Remy, I think. Is this Remy? Somebody that already texted in about the flagpole. They said, I wish Marco's was still around here. They were so good. But Adelaide's and Black River Falls makes great pizzas. Lenore. Thank you, Lenore. Yeah, there's no shortage of great local pizza places wherever you live. There shouldn't be, because it's kind of hard to mess up pizza, right?
I think there is a Pizza Hut classic located in Black River Falls, I believe.
Okay. Didn't Black River Falls have like I think at one point, Burf had a buffet style KFC? Am I wrong on that?
I don't remember.
There was a year where I was going to Rockfest and Spaz was with me, one of our part-timers at the time.
And he stopped by.
And no. And we were cruising through BRF, I think it was, or around there. And he said that he remembered there was a KFC in the Black River Falls area at one point that had a buffet where you could get buffet-style KFC. Woofta. Krista said, get yourselves to Corky's in La Crescent. Yeah, thank you.
A million different locations would have delicious. Everybody's got their favorite or places that they want to try. Maybe they're on their list of I go, oh, that's sometimes
Obviously,
I got to have that one.
This is just a online poll, so they were referencing 8 national chains, but support local businesses.
Also, I believe, and there's a number of them in our area, right? In the whole the valley between here and Eau Claire, I can think of 3 or 4 of them right off the top of my head. I believe most pizza farms are opening this weekend.
Oh, yeah, where the farm has got a pizza barn and maybe a bar and live music and stuff like that.
I follow a bunch of those pages, and almost everybody's has opening hours starting this weekend. So if you're wanted to have that on your summer bucket list, I believe most of the pizza farms are opening this weekend.
James texting in said the Pizza Hut in Decorah is a retro-looking Pizza Hut. I think they have the salad bar. T-Stet said, yes, BRF with the KFC used to have a buffet. Bill also confirming that. Yes, the BRF used to have a KFC with a buffet. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Dude, that would be a dangerous buffet for me to be at.
I know it would.
Very dangerous.
Mashed potatoes and gravy.
I gotta be honest, I'm not a fan of their mashed potatoes, but hammer some fried chicken and some mac and cheese and some coleslaw. Oh, I could do that. Just hammering away at it. Thank you very much for the text messages. Again, enjoy whatever pizza it is you enjoy, but this was a survey about national chains. I would certainly suggest you support local. There's plenty of pizza places, hardworking individuals that live in your communities that are doing their best to survive in this economy when everything costs so damn much. And I get it. Everyone's trying to save a buck, but man, if you can keep those doors open at those places, please do so. Now I want pizza. Do we got any?
I'm looking at the Wisconsin Pizza Farms map.
Has anybody got a pizza in the freezer here that we can steal? Christy Nix, is she?
I'll go looking.
All right. We'll get to Grant Bilse of the Wisco Sports Show in just a bit.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
8:15-ish on Tuesdays. We're joined by the one and only host of the Wisco Sports Show. That would be, of course, Grant Bilse. You can hear his program weekday afternoons from 4 until 6 on stations all across Wisconsin, including WKTY in La Crosse and Sports Talk 105.1 in Eau Claire and Appleton. And that's where you ran into a former coworker of ours.
Yes, I saw a good friend and former afternoon man on 95.7, Decker. Luckily, I was not eating ranch with my food, so I didn't upset him when I ran into him at the restaurant.
It does make him sick to his stomach.
It does. I'm going to see Decker.
It really does.
I'm going to see Decker in August. We're going to what is it? The Woodsman, the Wisconsin Woodsman, or the Timber Rat? I think it's the Timber Rattlers. I think the Timber Rattlers are out of Appleton, and Joey Chestnut is coming to the game in late August, and we're going to go there and check out Joey Chestnut.
Awesome.
We got the VIP tickets with the meet and greet and the photo and all that stuff. So looking forward to that. And then I get to watch Joey Chestnut hammer down a bunch of brats and pretzels in the August heat in Wisconsin.
I was going to say, do they hire him to put on an eating performance? Does he do solo performances, or does he only eat in competition?
Well, I think part of it is one person who buys VIP tickets will have a chance to compete against him, which obviously is it's like, what's the fast guy down there in Atlanta that runs real, and they give everybody
it's like the freeze or the flash.
And they give you the head start. That guy he just laps you in the middle of it. Yeah, I think it'll be like that. Mm-hmm. My wife and I we're joking about our possibility of competing against Joey Chestnut. I said, man, I'm gonna have one brat and just sit there and watch this guy. I'm not gonna try to beat him. I want to because it's at the beginning. Well, it's at the beginning of the game. I want to sit there and enjoy the game afterwards. I don't want to have to be rolled home. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
ER.
Sometimes you just have to appreciate greatness. You don't need to try to do it yourself. You just appreciate someone like that. Well, that sounds fun. And again, don't eat any ranch in front of Decker. You'll ruin his day. So.
Grant is joining us this morning. The Brewers have won 9 of their last 11. Yelich is back. They're getting a lot of players actually back recently. So it bodes really well. They're beating the Cubs last night, which is good. And it seems like all signs are pointed towards good things. How are you feeling about the Brewers right now?
Hard to feel anything but outstanding. I went for a walk this morning, and I had the skip in my step that I normally only have the day after the Packers win. These are the best days. The Packers are beating, the Brewers are beating the Cubs. Last night was a blast and a half. They kind of stuffed it down their throat. Brandon Sproat had a little hiccup in the first inning, but then took a no-hitter into the 5th. And then Shane Drowan came in, one of your former Red Sox players acquired in the Caleb Durbin trade. Comes in and shuts him down for the Final Four. Looked awesome. It just felt like Brewers-Cubs, the way that it's felt for the majority of the last couple of years. And they're healthy again. Yelich has hit 2 home runs in the last 2 games. Vaughn looks great. Churio's settling in. He has some really great at-bats. We haven't seen a ton of home runs yet, but he's seeing the ball really well, taking walks. So, yeah, life is good with the Brewers right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the Packers are like every NFL team. They're doing some off-season stuff at the facilities.
So they had rookie minicamp. I don't know when OTAs are. I would expect, I don't know. I know some teams are doing OTAs right now. Like I saw clips of Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. So I would expect within the next 2 weeks. I guess I don't have that date in front of me, but you're absolutely right. It should be pretty soon here.
Yeah, usually the official Usually official OTAs aren't until sometime in early June. I think a lot of teams do like these volunteer rookie minicamp type things, and then the veterans can come in and check out stuff and maybe try to perform some sort of relationship with some of the rookies that are in the building for the first time. So I didn't know if the Packers were doing that as well.
Well, Google AI, could very well be wrong, tells me that May 26th, 27th, and 29th. So they might be a week or so behind. I know most of the NFL's got it going. But they had rookie minicamp 2 weeks ago. So just kind of onboarding the rookies, get to know some of the new coaches, that sort of thing.
Nothing too crazy.
No, not at all. But that was the first time we got to hear the new defensive coordinator speak because they never did an introductory press conference. So, that was the week we kind of got to hear a little bit from Jonathan Gannon and their new special teams coordinator who they had to hire because Rich Bisaccia left in the middle of the night a month after the season ended, stuff like that. So there's always little dribs and drabs that are worthwhile, even if they're just practicing in, T-shirts and shorts.
Grant Bilse of the Wisco Sports Show joining us on the phone every Tuesday right around 8:15. Have you heard anything about Giannis and the Bucks? It got a little boiled over about 2 weeks ago with the Bucks saying they're open for business, and there were several teams mentioned when they were talking about the NBA trade deadline back in February, the Celtics and the Nets and some other teams that were looking at him at the time and maybe had made some offers. Have you heard anything recently, though, about what's coming down the pipeline? Because they want to get the deal done with him before the NBA draft.
I did see just over the weekend, that he was spotted at a youth gymnastics meet near Milwaukee supporting young athletes. I don't know if his kids were involved or not, but he was sitting basically in a chair right next to all the other parents cheering on the competitors at the North Shore Gymnastics, which was obviously a big highlight for all the parents and fans who happened to be at that same gymnastic meet, that he's just sitting in a chair right next to the athletes. So that was cool, but we're losing that localness and his love and enthusiasm for Milwaukee.
We might. I mean, it's tough to tell right now. Yeah, I had a friend whose kid was doing gymnastics. I think that was up in Cedarburg. And he texted me. He's like, Giannis is here.
Yes, yeah.
See it? Because Giannis's kids aren't, I don't know. Maybe it was all, I don't know the youth gymnastics circuit. I'll admit, I'm unfamiliar with the format and the age bracket. So I don't know. Maybe his kid was in it. I know he's at swim practice a lot. I have another friend in Milwaukee who's got a kid the same age as Giannis's oldest. And he goes to swim practice and just sits on the bleachers.
Like a regular
he gets
parents.
to operate.
Yeah,
he gets to operate in Milwaukee like a normal guy. And maybe he could go somewhere else and do that. I think he's got it pretty good in Milwaukee. Here's what I think is going to happen. The Bucks are going to tell Giannis, we need a decision by the draft. Giannis is going to say, well, I don't want to do that because I want to see what you're going to do this summer. And then they'll go back and forth. The Bucks will take that as a non-commitment. I think they'll trade him. And Giannis will then say, well, I never asked for a trade. I didn't want it. They didn't want to keep me. So I think it's just both sides are going to get into a staring contest, and that will end in Giannis getting dealt. But I don't think there's a non-zero chance. Like, the Bucks have first-round picks to trade. They could make an effort, and they could tell Giannis, here's our plan. And maybe it's a good one. And maybe Giannis likes it. And maybe they try to keep winning. I don't think that's a non-zero chance. I'd probably put it at around only a 30% chance. It feels like, to me, if you're just asking gut feeling, 70% chance he's gone. 35% chance he's back, but that chance is not nothing. It's not insignificant.
Grant, last sports-related question for you. NBA Eastern and Western Conference Finals are set. In fact, the Western Conference Finals started last night with a double overtime thriller there between the Spurs and the Thunder, and then, of course, the NHL playoffs moving into the finals as well, the conference finals as well. What are your takes for the NHL and the NBA playoffs right now? Who do you think is going to make it out of the conference finals in the NBA?
Well, last night, my God, I mean, the Spurs, Wembanyama just looked terrifying last night. I watched the second half of the third quarter, the fourth quarter a little bit. I was going back and forth between that and the Brewer game. And then I watched the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, overtime, double overtime. And I just have a hard time seeing Wembanyama losing. What would it be now? They'd have to lose 4 of the next 5 or 5 of the next 6 or something in order to lose the series, getting game 1 on the road. That guy controls the game unlike any player maybe I've seen. I mean, prime LeBron, like probably when he is at his best, in my opinion, was like 2018. Wembanyama can do that, but he's also like 8 feet tall. There's just physics things that he can do that I don't know that I've seen a basketball player do. So, man, after watching last night, it's hard to not pick that guy in the Spurs. I haven't been following the NHL as closely because once the Wild lost, I kind of got sad. The Bruins, who I have a little side interest in the Bruins. But I tell you, I watched the Avalanche. It would also be a hard team to pick against out in the West. I think the East is a little down, and Cale Makar and McKinnon and that team that's just an unbelievable hockey team.
It'll be interesting to see if the Hurricanes can stay undefeated now that they've got Montreal in front of them. They have had about a week off since they last played. We'll see if the rest did them any good or if they're going to have some rust getting back on the ice.
Yeah, and I think the Hurricanes are probably the forgotten team. Everyone's been really focused on the Sabres and the Canadiens for, I think, good reason. That's probably the more interesting series. And the same thing's been happening in the NBA, by the way. I've been paying attention to the West. I tuned in, I think, Sunday night and said, the Cavs and the Pistons are playing. Oh, it's Game 7. I had no idea because, I don't know, I can't watch everything. And the Western Conference teams are a little sexier. I don't know, Detroit, Cleveland, not exactly not the most star power, not the most glitz and glamour in that series. So I think now that we get into the conference finals, the American sports fan can really wrap their arms around all of it, which I think will be great.
I just got a text from a guy that said the Hurricanes will have 14 days off before Game 1.
Holy smokes.
That spells rust to me. That 1 week is okay. 2 full weeks off, man, that's not rest. That's rust. I don't know if the Canes are. We'll see. Obviously, we'll see. But Grant Bilse on the phone with us, host of the Wisco Sports Show. We were talking earlier. We had a kind of a hypothetical question we asked. If you could freeze time,
yeah,
would you go out and commit something illegal, a crime, if you will, Grant Bilse?
Whoa.
This isn't time travel. This isn't going back in time and getting the lottery ticket or going forward and getting the sports almanac and then coming back with all of the knowledge. This is, if you could freeze time, let's say, just for the sake of this argument, an hour, right? You could freeze it for an hour. Would you then do something illegal? Or would you just enjoy the hour alone with everything stopped? Or would you go to the bank and rob the vault? Would you go and stock up on, ammunition,
armored
whatever it
car,
is,
stops,
fishing gear, whatever it is you need?
I could buy a lot of tanks of gas. That's maybe what I would do. I would go into Fleet Farm and steal like 100 gas cans and then go to the gas. Although I suppose I'd have to pay for it. Freezing time doesn't allow me to just run the gas pump with total authority.
Yeah, but everything is frozen. No one's there to take your money. They're frozen.
I suppose. I think I would have to rob some sort of money, but I would do it in a way where it's like I would rob some institution that's backed by the FDIC. So the government's just going to replace it. Oh, great, you're robbing the taxpayers. Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna steal from my fellow man or woman, my neighbor. Maybe the local bank. Nobody tell Bruce down at Firefighters Credit Union, but that's maybe what I would do. I feel like I'd have to, man. Come on, what am I supposed to do? Go sit out in the peace and quiet when time is stopped?
You're not alone. 86% of people in a recent online poll said that, yes, if they could freeze time, they would also do something illegal. Jean, not one of those people. She unfortunately likes to think she's got a halo over her head. So.
I do not think that. The bank robbing thing didn't come to mind. I didn't come to mind like you, Grant. It didn't.
And you're not poor. You're not poor enough.
Do I have the technical and logistical capability to rob a bank within an hour? Could I get the vault open? I don't even know. The freezing of the time could help me get away with it, but only if I'm able to get the money out. And I'm not sure. I'm not the handiest person.
Not all of the money is in the vault, Grant. Not all of it is in the vault. There's plenty in the drawers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't go into the vault every time they got to make a transaction.
You can just open the drawers and take those out. That'd be.
When was the last time you think I went to withdraw cash from the? No. Let me reframe that. When is the last time you think I went to the brick and mortar bank? Simpson?
I don't know. You're a millennial with a mustache, so you probably never go to the bank.
Stock up at the grocery store. Maybe load up some steaks for the weekend.
I suppose tortilla chips it's my favorite snack, and it's like $8 for a bag of mostly
tortilla chips. I gotta get off. I gotta stop talking to this guy. I need some $8 tortilla chips.
Does.
I'm gonna freeze time so I can steal some tortilla chips. All right.
I'm just thinking about the food that's like least cost efficient. I haven't bought Tostitos in like 3 years. I can't justify it. They're too expensive. The hint of lime chips. So, yeah, look, you're asking me what I would do. That's one thing that came to mind. I would stack up on tortilla chips.
All right, Grant Bilse, always a pleasure.
Have a good holiday weekend.
Have a great rest of your week, and we'll talk to you next Tuesday, okay?
Always a treat to talk to you both. Have a good one.
The one and only Grant Bilse.
I guess I maybe would have tried to choke it down.
Host of the Wisco Sports Show, weekday afternoons from 4 until 6.
I just want to know who the starting shortstop.
Yeah, the starting shortstop. We've got bad news, happy music, and it's coming up next.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. More from Brian and Gene is coming up.
You're about to enter a beautiful, exciting, wonderful new world.
A cockroach living in your nostril. Now that's just nasty. Add in some haven't pooped for 30 days.
Poop is raining from the ceilings. Poop.
And sprinkle in some #Florida Man for flavor.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man. Florida Man. Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man quits his Burger King job, steals all of their chicken nuggets.
It's bad news.
Bad news.
With happy music.
Let's rock.
Years ago, we had some neighbors that lived behind our house, sort of diagonal to us. Billy Hubby and his mom and dad and his sister. And they must have gone on vacation. And they had a porch light that would come on every night. It wasn't a motion light. It wasn't motion activated. It just would come on at a certain time. So it must have been on a timer. Well, that thing shined directly into our house. And it drove my dad insane. And so for the first couple of nights, he'd be really mad about it. And then finally, he's like, I've had it with this light. And he basically picked me up and threw me over the fence into their yard to go up to their porch and then unscrew the light and then come back over to our property. Didn't do any damage. Just unscrewed the light. When they came back home, told them about it. We were all sort of friendly, so they eventually moved the light, turned it so it was not shining directly into our house. This guy in #Florida, however, decided to take matters into his own hands when it came to someone's lights in his neighborhood. 62-year-old guy in Florida named Robert Boston arrested after he went over to his neighbor's property at about 3 a.m. a couple of weeks ago. He was bringing a ladder with him, and he was on a mission. He was very upset about a malfunctioning motion light. So he placed the ladder against the building, climbed up, yanked the floodlight off the wall, and left it on the ground. Removed it so forcefully that he caused $800 in damages by pulling wiring loose from inside of the wall. This guy must have hung on this light to rip it off of the side of the building.
He hates it. Really hates it.
I'm not sure if it was blinking the whole time or if it was coming on randomly or what it was doing, but it pissed this guy off something fierce. A very important detail about this story, Gene. Not only was this at 3 a.m, and not only did he have a ladder, and not only did he do $800 worth of damage, he was naked at the time.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
And he was caught on surveillance footage doing all of this in his birthday suit. The only thing he had on was a watch, a headlamp, and some flip-flops.
It's very important to see in the dark. You got to pay attention to what you're doing. Headlamps are great.
He was arrested for trespassing and criminal mischief. Oh, man, if the light was working, do you need the headlamp?
Yeah, well, you got the screws or the
He wasn't
bolts
unscrewing, he ripped it out.
Well, you still have to watch your task at hand here.
California criminals are becoming smarter little more precautious, maybe. Not quite sure what you'd call this, but apparently criminals in California are now hiding cameras in people's bushes to track when people are home and when they're not.
They're putting cameras in very specific areas. That's what's scary, that they had the one right here, as we were talking about, and then one down the street. So, yeah, very specific areas.
San Dimas, California. Bill and Ted represent. Sheriff's deputies investigating a burglary say they uncovered a hidden camera that was placed across from the victim's house. Deputies responding after a report of a burglary. That's when they discovered a hidden camera concealed in the bushes across from the victim's home. The camera was connected to a portable hotspot and an external battery pack. A week earlier, sheriff's officials say a landscaper in the neighborhood also uncovered a hidden device in some hedges. The device was described as a cell phone connected to a power bank and wrapped in green camouflage tape with artificial plants attached to it. Yeah. So they're not just like,
they're really making camouflage plants.
They're warning the public that thieves may be using similar devices to scout homes before committing burglaries.
Yeah, they're scouting it out.
Learn your routine, find out when you're home, find out when you come back from work, if you come home from lunch.
Putting the weed hat on, like brush, and they're crawling through the grass and scoping things out.
Residents are encouraged to remain vigilant and be aware of suspicious or hidden cameras that may be placed in or around yards, entryways, or exterior areas of homes. That's real nice.
Mm-hmm.
In Michigan,
yes,
an officer is being praised for not shooting a high school student.
Did he almost shoot him?
This is why water guns are all brightly colored nowadays. Because back in my time, when I was a kid,
like a real gun? Is that what happened?
You could get a plastic gun at the toy store that looked like a regular gun. It was dark. It didn't have a lot of, like fluorescent colors on it. And then kids were getting shot because they were carrying around plastic guns, little cap guns or whatever.
That's what this was too?
Yeah. So this was a senior prank in Michigan that almost turned deadly when a student with a water gun jumped out at an unsuspecting police officer. The officer then grabbing his gun, which you can see all unfold on the body camera, and in a split-second decision decides not to shoot this kid who's just got a water gun.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Hey, I'm all set. It's some kid doing water wars.
That kid's family should be planning a funeral right now. He just had a fantastic action not to fire and shoot this kid.
The district said that police had responded to other calls tied to this water prank game, including speeding, trespassing, disruptions to local businesses. They encouraged students to stop playing this game. Some sort of waterworks game that they play. It sounds like it's a regular occurrence there. And the cops showed up, and this kid popped out of nowhere with the water gun, and the officers there investigating, thinking maybe there's some legitimate crime going on.
Well, I don't know if this is senior assassin. I told you this was last year. This has been the rage for a number of years. It's a popular bracket-style high school elimination game where graduating seniors assassinate targets using water guns. So they wait for them like in the parking lot or behind the thing.
And the idea is like paintball
with water.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly it. So there's assigned to targets, and then when you eliminate them, you inherit their targets and yada, yada, yada. Right? So, but it's usually at their house or school events, or it's on school grounds, or it's in a parking lot, or it's at a place that they think they're going to go.
Yeah, the police there say, I think it's a great idea would be to pick one central place like a park. Let us know. We can come and be there with you. A handful of officers, so we know that all this is a planned event. Don't have people calling 911 and then taking resources off the road to dedicate to this when we know it's a game that's being played.
Yeah, it's a game. It's senior assassin, I'm sure it is. Well, they try to do things like no mask or hoodies, right? They're trying to not
it doesn't seem like the kid was wearing a mask or a hoodie.
Respect private property, so they do, like you can go on other students, but not necessarily through the neighborhood to get to the thing to hide behind somebody else's house.
If you're going to someone's house and you're creeping around the backyard and you're trying to get them when they bring out the trash, and the next thing you know, mom's calling the cops and bliggity blam, you got a dead kid in your backyard. Almost happened. Last but not least, speaking of things, this is awful. This is in Sacramento. A man there blowing himself up inside of his own home after he lost it in a tax auction.
What?
So it sounds like they repoed his house because he wasn't paying the taxes on it.
And then he
said, not on my watch, and then blew up the house.
Killed himself?
Yes.
Oof.
Turning one seized property into a deadly symbol. Man dying in an explosion at the house after the property had been sold through the Sacramento County's tax defaulted auction system.
So he wasn't paying on it.
And when I say blew it up, that means he blew it up. Like, I'm talking ba-boom. Like, big time fire, explosion, the whole 9 yards. The case now looming over the county's latest tax sale, where 32 different properties were listed for auction and promoted as potential deals for buyers willing to take on the risk. Well, imagine you buy one of these places and you move in, and this guy comes back around a few months after you've already been in the place and done some renovations and got your family in there, and he's still got a hair across his ass. The auction, which began on Monday of last week, included homes, vacant lots, other parcels put up for sale after owners fell behind on their property taxes. Under California's tax default process, counties can sell the properties after years of unpaid taxes, allowing bidders to scoop up real estate that can appear far cheaper than anything on the traditional market. But this, of course, obviously a darker reality for everything that happens there. Property tied to the explosion had been taken through the same system with a map showing the seized home at the center of the tragedy. Buyers are told they may not be able to inspect the homes before bidding, may not be able to enter them, may discover after the fact that someone is still living inside. Remember that one with the pictures of the old lady? And we saw that one? It was in Milwaukee in that crazy neighborhood by the park, and they were like, you may have to get this tenant out. Yeah, similar. This guy, though, said, no, not on my watch.
I'm just going to stay here and blow it up.
Blew the house up and took his own life. Yikes. That's one way to go. I got a text from Davey. Happy belated birthday, Brian. Welcome to the 50 Club. Thanks, Davey. Also got a text from Rob and Stoddard. Said, go New York, go New York.
Why?
New York.
Why is he?
Because he's an a-hole. Because Rob's just an a-hole, and he's got nothing better to do with his life than to be a human piece of garbage and root for New York teams. Brian in Colorado, perfect example of billionaires not caring about the team is the Rockies. Haven't been good since Boston beat their ass in the World Series.
This is a fan.
But with everyone going to Coors Field because it's a great spot to watch baseball with the view of the mountains in the background, why would you need to pay for good players? Yeah, a lot of teams are starting to turn into that. I mean, you look at a perfect example, the Brewers. We've had that conversation for years, right? They've always sort of been on the cusp of competing. Right, they're good in the season. They give you an entertaining product.
Yep.
You come out to the ball game, you have a good time. They keep it affordable for most families, right? They fill the stadium for the most part. They put a good product on the field, but they never fully invest in the team to go and try and win a World Series because that's not what they care about. They care about you coming to the ballpark and spending your money every year. They don't give a rap. If you're already doing that and they're not winning World Series, then why would they change the model? They don't care. They'll give you a new sandwich every year, a new beer on tap, whatever, and it's fine. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that's the reality of it all.
Jessica also emailed in and said, if I could freeze time, I'd travel to Fort Knox. I suppose that's where all the money is,
how much
right?
time you got?
Or same with Area 51.
The problem with Fort Knox is, isn't it gold?
Well, gold is...
Yeah, but then you have to, get rid of the gold. You can't just go into the store and be like, I'd like one dishwasher, please. Here's a gold. You know, I don't think it works that way, but...
Or Area 51 and go hang with the aliens.
The money you can make untraceable through laundering. You go to strip clubs and you'll be all right.
You can find somebody who'll take the gold, can't you? Yeah, I'm sure you can. Gold laundering.
Jim texting in, who is going to school in Georgia for being a state trooper, said that story with the kid and the water gun is my biggest fear of becoming a cop. Yeah, well, you have a split second. You know, you show up on scene and maybe it's dark and there's reports of break-ins or whatever it is, and the next thing you know, somebody pops out of the bushes and has something in their hands. Yeah. Thanks for the text messages, except for Robin Stoddard. Go F yourself. Stupid-ass New York chance, this guy. God, you New York people are insufferable. Makes me sick.
Be in touch with the program. It's
No.
all right.
Unless you like New York.